Welcome to another Monday on Sanctuary Collective.
The Sanctuary Collective.
This week on Sanctuary Collective YouTube collab, we're going to be talking about how straight cisgender folks can be better allies and what that means. If you read my blog, you have probably seen the post 8 things I don't want to hear from straight people, and also 5 awesome things that straight people can do. Those are both really good places to start, so I will put the links down below and you can check out what I have to say there. Let me tell you something. I have been asked more times than I can count why I think the Bible doesn't condemn homosexuality, what to make of transgender people, have I thought about this, how do I reconcile being a Christian with being a gay person, don't I believe that I should be celibate. And they often come in the form of either leading questions in person or like really long emails or blog comments, like 10 plus paragraphs. It like takes a long time to read through, and then it takes a long time to think about and attempt to compose a response. And I could spend my entire life responding to those questions. And that really is a problem because it gets in the way of actual justice work. If you are a straight person, even if you're not entirely sure whether it's okay to be gay or not, or like whether it's all right for someone to transition, like figure that out yourselves. And I don't mean all by yourself. There are like books, we're on YouTube, there's YouTube videos you can watch galore. Get on LiveJournal and search that stuff. Find a counselor you can talk to. Work things through with some friends who have a bit more experience than you. Attend lectures and conferences. Sanctuary Collective is having a conference coming up at the end of July that you can attend. There's lots of ways that you can educate yourself that don't involve like draining queer folk. And like, I get it, we're nice and we're friendly and we're fun and we're informed and we've thought about this and we can explain it to you. And also, we're explaining it to every other person in the world who asks us, and that's just really too time-consuming to do. And this gets on to why it's really important for straight people to be allies and to be public about it. Because the more people there are public in their support of queer folks, the more people there are to fuel these questions so that they don't all come to me and to Micah and to the other openly queer folks out there in the world. And it's not just the time that it takes, the 5 minutes or the 10 minutes or however long it takes to compose that response or have that conversation. It's also the mental and the emotional energy and the draining and having to check in with our friends and our roommates and our coworkers and debrief and decompress, and that's a big burden to carry. And so if you're straight, I invite you to be public all the time, especially if you have a YouTube channel or a blog or you're an author. It's even more important for you to take up these issues, and so that the folks of us on the ground in our daily lives don't have to be constantly defending ourselves. And I get it, this is not necessarily easy, it's not without cost. One of my friends is Jay Baker. He's a pastor of a church called Revolution NYC. There's a location here in New York City. It started in Atlanta. Jay is the son of Jim and Tammy Faye Baker, who are sort of televangelists from the 80s. Praise the Lord. They're on a lot of Christian broadcasting networks. Anyways, he started this church in Atlanta to be a church for folks who have given up on church, and he preaches a message of grace and forgiveness and healing, and it's really been touching a lot of people's lives. The Sundance Channel did a mini-series on him called One Punk Under God. Great work. It had a backing from lots of different churches and Christian organizations, and over time he realized that his position of saying that he loved gay people and that they should be part of the church, but not really willing to step out and say it's not a sin or this is exactly where I stand, that was just morally untenable. He couldn't be silent. He had to take a side and say, clearly this is not a sin and we need to treat this as a justice issue. And so he did that, and he lost lots and lots of funding from Christian organizations. He lost some friends over it. It's certainly not an easy thing to do, but in the end a right thing to do. I encourage you to check it out. You can listen to his the Sermons or podcast every week on iTunes. I'll put a link to the website and to the iTunes podcast. It's free. So that is my bit for you, for straight folk who know that it's okay to be gay and who have gay friends and want to be supportive. Speak out often, take the heat so that queer folk don't have to. And for straight people who aren't quite sure exactly where you stand, do some education yourself and seek out other straight people. Don't rely on straight people to speak for us. we are speaking for ourselves every day, all the time. But seek out other sources than your friend who is queer to help you explain this. Find the books, find the podcasts, find the sermons and the YouTube channels and the live journals, so you can hear it from us without also interrupting our lives. It's hard enough being a queer person and trying to make the world a better place without having to pause to explain yet again like why I don't hate myself. So that's all for me. Happy Monday, and I will talk to you again soon.